We are going to see freezing cold air stretch all the way down to the south into tomorrow morning. This morning, it's through basically the northern half of the country. But high pressure, that gives us a northerly flow on the east side. That means winds go from the north to the south, bringing that cold air all the way down to the Gulf Coast. Birmingham, our average high is 67. Look at today, we only get to 54. Well below average for us here. In fact, our overnight low is 45. We're almost really closer to that than we are average high. And our temperatures drop, obviously, as we lose that sun. And tomorrow morning, notice how we're going to be below freezing here. And it's not just Birmingham. It's anywhere from Texarkana up into Charlotte, where we do have freeze warnings. That means our temperatures could be 26 to 32 degrees. So sensitive vegetation, maybe some outdoor plumbing, something that you have to really watch for. So this big dip in the jet stream is going to cause the cold air on Tuesday with those below freezing temperatures all the way down really to the Gulf Coast, but it rebounds very quickly. And this is about when we typically see our last freeze. So we're kind of right around that time when we should start wrapping it up when it comes to freezes in the south here. And you will see that rebound on Wednesday morning. That cold air is just confined to the northern tier because our jet stream does not dip as low. Our system is not as strong for our Wednesday morning. Look how it's only going to come down essentially around the Ohio River Valley. That's where the cold air will really kind of stop. But there is energy in the atmosphere, so cold air, a little bit of moisture, we're going to get some snow. Look at Cincinnati. We've got our temperatures in the blue until we hit the weekend. Perfect timing because we'll get some of that sunshine too. New York City, we're kind of all over the place. We're up and down with our temperatures here. And do you know New York City cabs weren't always yellow? That was a thing that really kind of happened in the 60s. That's when we started to get all the cabs that were yellow in New York City. So if you're out there hailing a cab, you probably need that long sleeve here, Jordan. Maybe not the gloves, but long sleeves for sure.
Is it still okay to like whistle?
That snowstorm in Colorado last Wednesday, Thursday. Remember, it got cut off from the flow, and it's just been meandering around the Four Corners and the Southwest since literally last week. It's finally going to get a nudge, a little push, and we are going to see this energy make its way all the way along the I-10 corridor and maybe eventually into the Northeast. Here it is midweek, tapping into that Gulf moisture, and that means that in this warm sector, we could see some of those storms, Texas, Oklahoma, Austin, San Antonio. All of these areas could get on some of these thunderstorms. San Antonio, we don't really need the rain. We're fine on rain. Our temperatures go from 10 degrees below average to a few degrees above average here on our Thursday. Then we clear out and it makes its way eastbound. We're going to follow it in that direction late week into the weekend. When you see these tightly packed isobars, this could mean for some significant erosion here into the Carolinas and some heavy rain as well. This is kind of the Wednesday to Saturday outlook. But the storm comes in late Wednesday into Thursday. My brain had jumped ahead for you here. And you see it really develop on our Thursday, especially along the I-10 corridor. And then things ramp up Friday as we head later in the day. This lingers into Saturday and perhaps rides up the East Coast, something that we'll watch very closely. Here's the first coast of Jacksonville. Again, we don't really need the rain, but I'll tell you what, we're below average. Our average high is 75 this time of year. We're only going to be at 69 on Friday, Saturday 72 with the clouds and the rain, Jim. That can make it feel pretty chilly out.
So, Abrams, is that cutoff low that you're talking about on the East Coast the first cousin or second cousin of the old cutoff?
Of the old it is the actual. No, it isn't. Right. I mean, I'm saying it is the actual one. Forget about cousins.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, hey, we're all family.
Welcome back, everybody. So today is Global Recycling Day.
Yes, it is.
And to draw the attention to the importance of this very easy, very effective way to reduce just how much we use and, of course, how much we toss out.
Yes, glass is 100% recyclable, but according to the EPA, only about 31% is recycled in the U.S. Elizabeth Hupp is with OI Glass. She's here with what they're doing to increase recycling. Elizabeth, thanks for being with us. Let's just get right to the question that everyone wants to know. Why is it such a challenge to get people to recycle their glass bottles, and why is it so hard to recycle glass?
That is a challenge.
Good stuff. Elizabeth Hupp, thank you so much for coming on to teach us about OI.
You're welcome. I mean, it makes sense. We always say it's so easy, but I think it comes down to affordability, and a lot of these recycling centers say it's pretty expensive.
Yeah.
But like, if I just look at it like I do with everything else, oh, there's the headline, so now I know everything. It's like, you got a glass bottle, okay? You clean it, you recycle it, and it's a beer bottle, so just put it right back into the to the market.
Yeah.
There's so many beer bottles out there.
What also is
Wine
interesting
bottles,
is
same
once
thing.
you know, if you go somewhere and you're like, oh, this is a recycled glass, it makes it kind of a talking point, gives you chat to have, with your friends or whoever.
Yeah, hopefully there'll be more and more either companies like this
I
or they
agree.
can expand.
All right, let's have a look at the weather now with Felicia. And Felicia, of course, sand, glass, right? That's how it all works, grind it on down. People want to go to the beach and get away from the cold.
Well, or maybe they want to be in the cold, because a lot of the places that you might expect the snow, we're having huge deficits for places
That's
like
true.
Duluth or Minneapolis. But if you want to go to the beach, we're going to talk about that shortly. Some of us that have been hoping for that snow might get a little last gasp of it. And then, of course, we're going to talk about that beach weather coming up.
And they don't have to shovel it, it seems like.
Yeah, it's
unless
gonna be
you're in
pretty
that
light.
moderate to heavy, if that
Yeah.
verifies, but
We'll see.
the sun angle.
Felicia,
also pretty
thank
quick.
you.
All right, any gardener will attest to this. Bloom times are a-changin'. These famous blossoms are... So you've heard of the Jurassic period,
Yeah, of
right?
course.
Dinosaurs roamed the Earth. Or perhaps the Permian-Triassic extinction event, when most life on Earth was wiped out. You just didn't know what it was called until I just said it. These labels help us divide up the billions of years of Earth's history.
And recently, scientists rejected a plan to label our current timeline, marked by how humans have changed the environment. The discussion centers around when to start that clock. Here's pattern climate scientist producer Ali Van Fleet.
Have humans changed? So if you are trying to spring break in Florida, tomorrow looks better the rest of the week, too.
Appreciate it. All right, well, climate change is taking a hit on Maine's ice levels, which has direct impact on people's livelihoods. It also threatens a cultural tradition, ice harvesting.
Yeah, it was a way of life in the 19th century to keep food cold during the summer months. Today, South Bristol's annual ice harvest is fun community gathering. Now, people there are doing everything they can to keep this practice from melting away. More on this annual tradition and how it's changing. That's tomorrow on Pattern.
Man, it's going to be a good one, too. I mean, just looking at the way that thing is shot. All right, you guys, Woo TV's coming up next. Of course, keeping us posted on all those spring breakers out there, where they're going to be headed. And then, of course, the cool down that's still on the way, especially for folks in Florida.
All right, but we will see you tomorrow. Have a good Monday, everybody.
Bye.